All right, we're joined in our post-race press conference this afternoon here at Kansas Speedway, the 13th annual SFP 250, by our second and third place drivers this afternoon. Second place, Joey Coulter, driver of the number 18 Darrell Gwynn Foundation Toyota, and our third place driver and also our highest finishing Sunoco rookie, Ryan Blaney, who drives the number 29 Cooper Standard Performance Ford. Gentlemen, best finishes for both of you this year, so congratulations on that. And Joey, why don't you first talk about a very spirited run there at the end with Matt Kraft, and just ran out a little bit of time.
Yeah, that was this new pavement. There's so much grip. You can drive these trucks, wide open the whole time, and it was just a matter of who could kind of catch the wind at the right spot. I could pull him off the corner, but by the time we get down the end of the straightaway, it kind of all equaled out. But great day for the 18 Tundra. Everybody did an awesome job on pit road. We got a little bit behind, got caught a lap down or two, and then Harold, my crew chief, man, he played some awesome pit strategy, getting us back where we needed to be. And those late cautions helped us with some fuel mileage. And after that, we just let it all hang out and tried to get it. It was, oh my gosh, that was the hardest few laps that I think I've ever driven. It's like I said, the new pavement. There's so much grip. You can race anywhere on the racetrack, and you're fighting for inches on the racetrack.
Brian, a pretty big week this last week for some of your K&N alumni. Of course, another young driver with Joey, and some of our young drivers are making some hay, and you're obviously one of them, and had a great race today. So tell us about that.
Yeah, we had a good truck all day. It was just really all about track position. If you could start within the first 6 or 7, and then you just hoped your line moved, whichever one you were in. So it was a really big track position race, and it really widened out there at the end. It widened out a lot more than I thought. Racing with Brendan there, I just kept working on him, and just couldn't close that final half a truck length and get to his quarter. And I saw Joey start to move up on the 88. And it looked like he was getting good runs on him, and I tried that last few laps, and it paid off. So good to see this team start running good. We kind of got to a rocky season, not too very good, and just trying to learn this new truck, and with Ford coming on board, just trying to learn all the tricks there to be really competitive. So hopefully this is a good turning point for us.
All right, great, guys. We have questions for these two young men. Let us know. Raise your hand. Please give us your affiliation before you would ask.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire Service. Joey, first of all, could you talk about how frustrating it is to chase a guy for 25 laps and get right on his bumper and not be able to get by him? And second, when you dropped back with about 10 to go, it looked like you made up that ground fairly easily getting back to him. Were you just trying to save it for a last run at the end there? Yeah,
when we went around that lap car there, I went in a little bit higher than Matt did behind that lap car, and I just got a little bit tight and lost some ground. But I wasn't too worried about it. I was kind of thinking it was going to work out a little bit better. These trucks, they punch such a big hole in the air that sometimes being a little bit farther back is a better place to be with a couple laps to go. And it just kind of ended up being the same thing. I could get to him, but that 5 feet that I needed to get next to him was it was hard to get. I felt like both of our trucks were really good. I was a little bit tight behind him, but it was overall just real happy with where we ended up. It's a good points day for us.
Pete?
Pete Pistone from MotorRacingNetwork.com and SiriusXM. For both you guys, how difficult, 11 cautions, 1 red flag, getting into a rhythm out there today?
I was... it breaks your rhythm up a little bit, but I was kind of happy to see the cautions towards the end. I knew with the strategy that Harold had played, we needed I think we needed 6 laps of cautions to make it to the end, and then we needed, a little bit more than that if we got in a green-white checkered situation. So it breaks your rhythm up a little bit, but at the same time, sitting there under red flag stopped, you're not burning any fuel.
I didn't like all the cautions. The way we played it out, we were pretty good for a couple green-white checkers, and I thought, it would be better and we could make more moves and get out of trouble once we got single file and running, and then we could start making ground up. It was just such a crapshoot the first 2 or 3 laps, and you didn't know how it was going to play out with everyone getting runs and stuff. So, yeah, it definitely breaks up your rhythm, like Joey said. But you know, I think that you know, it was a big learning experience for everyone out there, and it was so tight here, and you're going so fast. It's really hard for the guy on the inside to not spin out when he's got a guy hanging on his right side door, and I think that was one of the biggest reasons we kept having cautions. But
I have a question upstairs in the press box.
Kind of answered it there at the end, but if you could just elaborate on it a little bit, why were there so many cautions today? I counted at one point only like 18 trucks on the racetrack. So what was behind that?
Well, I think what Ryan said hit the nail on the head. You know, there's so much grip all over the racetrack that you know, the top groove, you know, the middle groove, whatever you want to call it, is right on top of the bottom groove. So guys are going in the corner. The trucks rely on the side force, you know, the air pushing on that right rear quarter panel so much. When a truck gets up there and takes that air off, you know, it knocks the air off the spoiler of that inside truck, and it's just, it's hard to hang on to. You know, our truck, you know, thankfully, in traffic was a little bit tighter, so I could fight that truck on the outside a little bit better than some of the trucks around me. But it's such a fine line between, you know, having your truck tight enough to be able to maintain and then, you know, being too tight.
Anything else upstairs?
well, you know, I think Kansas now is, you know, almost like the new Michigan, newly repaved. It just prepares you. Actually, you know, we learned this in practice. I think all the Turner trucks had really fast trucks by themselves, and that's just accountable by drag in their truck. And so coming here and learning that we got to get better at that, I think will help us on the Michigans and the Charlottes, and they seem to handle pretty well too. So coming here definitely prepares you for other really fast, fairly newly paved racetracks.
Yeah, exactly what Ryan said. You learn a lot of aerodynamic things. You know, there's last year at Pocono, Michigan, Harold and I, we messed around a lot with balancing, making the trucks faster by taking drag off of them, but we sacrificed some handling at Michigan. So I think, like Ryan said, you learn a lot of that here, and we'll definitely come back to these notes before Michigan.
Other questions? Are we clear upstairs as well? We are clear. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.